In this project we'll be designing this phone stand, and the goal here is to learn how to apply a custom pattern. So for example, here I have different cutouts as a honeycomb cells, and it's achieved by applying a pattern, feature, and using this tool you can also apply a different pattern. You can have squares, triangles, circles, whatever you want. So quite powerful, and designing these type of phone stands, or for example stands for game controllers, is also quite a good opportunity. So it works like this. Have on your desk and just slide your phone here. Simple, and it's made out of two separate parts. I will show you later how to print this one. Let's open up a new design, and I'll create a sketch on the front plane this time. I will choose a rectangle, and this time it will be 3-point rectangle. The first point goes in the middle here. The second goes here, and the third goes somewhere here. It doesn't need to be precise. We will give this dimensions. So sketch dimension, and this dimension is 3 millimeters, 3.5 actually. This is the thickness, and now let's give it a height of 120. Now let's create another line. The first point goes in the center, and the second point goes here. So this line should be horizontal. If it's not horizontal, you can apply a horizontal constraint that is up here. So under constraints, horizontal. Let's turn this into a construction line. So if you click here, construction, and now we need to give this an angle. So sketch dimension, between this and this line there will be an angle of 70 degrees. So this angle, it means how slanted the phone holder will be, and we can change it later if we need to. This rectangle is for the upper part of the stand, and now let's create the base. So I'll create another rectangle, again 3-point rectangle. The first point goes somewhere on this line, the second point goes somewhere here, and the third one goes here. Escape. Let's give this a dimension again, 3.5, the same as before, and we need to give an angle here that is 90 degrees. Now we need to add a few more dimensions. Dimension tool, between this line and this line here it will be 15 millimeters, and also between this line and this line there will be the same distance of 15 millimeters. So now the sketch is fully constrained, and as I mentioned before, we can change this angle for example, let's say 60. It will be more slanted, or 80 degrees, but I think the middle ground is 70, and it's good enough. Finish sketch. Let's use the extrude tool to extrude the first shape. Extrude, and I'll take this profile, this one and this one, and drag it out 70 millimeters. Click OK. I will turn on the sketch, and I will hide the first body. Let's do the second extrusion. This time let's pick these 3 profiles. Extrude again, 70 millimeters. Click OK. Now you can see we have 2 bodies in the bodies folder, the upper part and the base part. Now we need to create a connection between them. So I will hide the second body and do an extrusion. And this time I will do extrude cut with this little profile here. And the distance should be 70 divided by 2. it will be 35. Operation is cut. Okay, so we have made a slot here where the second part will slide in. And we need to create the same, but in the opposite part for the base. We could use the same method with the sketch and extrusion, but we can also use this body to cut into this body. So we will use the Combine tool. Under Modify, Combine, select the first target body. It is the base body here, and the two bodies, two body will be this one. The operation is set to cut, and this checkbox needs to be checked. Keep tools, it will mean that we will keep this body. If it's not checked, it will be deleted. We want to keep it, so have it checked. Okay. If I hide the first body now, you can see we have cut away a slot here in the base. If I use the Move tool, Move Copy, and I'll select the base here, just drag it out so you can see how the connection is made. It's like a 3D puzzle. Now let's add some chamfers. Under Modify, Chamfer, and select these sharp corners for the both parts. And the value will be 5 millimeters. Okay. And now let's add a little bit of fillets. Under Modify, Fillet, and select these corners. Here I will put 2 millimeters, or better 3. And I forgot these two. Looking good? Okay. Now that the base form is ready, let's add those honeycomb patterns, and we can do that by creating a sketch. Create sketch, and I'll click this plane here. I'll hide away the second body and zoom in a little bit. Now I will create a line. It will go in the middle here, and also in the middle in the opposite side. Let's turn this into a construction geometry. Construction. Now let's create the first cell. Under Create, let's choose Polygon, and this one, first one, Circumscribed Polygon. I'll put the first point here in the center of this line, and the second point goes up. I'll tell that this line here is horizontal, and I will also give a dimension now. So dimension between these two lines will be 10 millimeters. Enter. Now I need to create two more lines, and the first one will go here in the middle and to the opposite side, also in the middle, and the same here. I'll select both lines and say that they're construction geometry, and now we're ready to do the pattern feature. Let's go under Create, Rectangular Pattern. Now we need to select the objects that we will pattern and select all these lines here. Here you can see I have selected 6 objects, and the direction, we need to select both of these lines for the direction. So we will copy this cell in 2 directions, and the direction here will be set to symmetric, and also the second one is symmetric. The quantity will be 15, and also the distance will be 12 millimeters. So you can see what happens here. We have copied the cell on both directions 15 times with the spacing of somewhere between 3 millimeters. If we increase this distance, you can see that also the distance here increases. So play around with these values. Distance, I'll set it to 12 and click OK. When the sketch is ready, we can use the extrude tool, extrude, and select the profile that is between the cells. And I will extrude it 0.2 millimeters upwards, and the operation is set to join. Okay? So now you can see we have introduced this pattern that is 0.2 millimeters in height. Let's take a look at our sample model. You can see we have some holes here, and also we have these kind of cells that are filled in. So let's try to make this feature. I will use the extrude tool again, and this time we can select different cells that we want to fill in, and this is fully up to you which cells you want to pick. It is just for aesthetics, however you want. I'll pick these cells here and click extrude 0.2 millimeters, and it will combine these cells together. Okay? And for the holes we can do the same with the extrude tool. Just pick the cells you want to completely cut through and then make an extrusion. And here I'll just cut it all the way through, grabbing the arrow, operation set to cut, OK. Now the last thing that we need to do is make sure that the parts will fit together. As you can see, there is no gap between the parts. And if we print them like this, they will most likely not fit together and will get stuck. So we need to put a little gap there, and it's called a tolerance gap. I will hide the second body, and I will make the gap by using the press and pull command. So here under modify there's a press pull, select, and I will select these three faces, and the offset type will be set to new offset. And the distance will be minus 0.2 millimeters. Okay? So now you can see there is a little gap there, and it will make sure that the parts will fit together nicely. Now let's do the same for the other part. Hide the first body, press pull, select these faces, and enter minus 0.2. Okay. The model is complete now, so we can prepare it for printing. We will print the stand in two separate parts, so both bodies need to be exported as a separate STL file. So click the first one, save as mesh, OK, and save to your computer. And the same thing goes for the bottom part, save as mesh, OK, and also save. Now let's bring the parts into the slicer, add, and here I have the both parts, and I will add one by one. First one, and then the second one. Okay. As you can see, the parts are not arranged correctly. They're not flat on the print bed, so we can arrange them using the lay on face command. Click one part and choose lay on face, and I will select the back, and also select second part, lay on face, and also like this. We can also click this auto arrange function, arrange, so now it is arranged in the most efficient way. For the print settings, I have it 0.24mm layer height, 15% infill, and the infill type is just grid. Let's slice the plate and see what happens. Okay, we can see the infill is 15% in the middle. The print time will be like 46 minutes and 33 grams of material will be used. Let's print.